My favorite thing is when I go to edit the podcast and then there's just this bullshit for like a minute or two before we actually start. Like there was one time where Gabi was like, "I will fucking stab you."
You should save that.
I did. That was the first thing you hear in the episode. Is like, "I'm gonna fucking stab you."
Oh
You don't
God,
say it
yeah.
anywhere else in the episode. But that's the first thing you hear, and then it's, "I'm gonna fucking stab you." Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stick to the Manga, your weekly manga podcast. And each week we talk about a new manga. This week we talk about My Home Hero. And today we have myself, Keiki Jakey, Gabi, and Kolivanz.
Yay!
Kolivanz,
First female guest.
do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, I'm Kolivanz, and even though we're doing the My Home Hero podcast, I think I did a video on My Home Hero, but unfortunately, I think I stopped at chapter 48. In the part 1 finale, and I read after it, but the first part, I really like the first part. Like the first part could be a standalone to me, to be honest. But other than that, I'm just trying to veer off of anime content, but still also make anime content, and it's whatever at this point.
You
But
made a Fiverr video, didn't you?
yeah, I made a Fiverr video for JoJo merch, and I recently made a video where I drew Hermes Costello from JoJo and Stone Ocean on MS Paint while telling
Beautiful.
like the story of my middle school life.
Nice. I need to watch that second video. I watched that first one.
Yeah, all that JoJo merch was prime content. I really like
Middle
the
school
merch.
stories, though.
Yeah, my
What
middle
was it?
middle school stories are just full of dating trauma, like actual
Oh.
trauma that I'm
God.
still dealing with.
Oh God! But remember when everyone on YouTube would draw like their life story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Draw My Life.
Yes, I was obsessed with those.
I used to watch them a lot too. Yeah.
I watched a few of them. But anyway, let's talk about this manga here. I'm drinking currently. Drink responsibly. I ate before I drank, so it may.
I drove 6.5 hours today, so I think we're all on a certain level, except Kolivanz is probably the most put together for it.
I don't think you should count out you being the most put together.
For today, at least.
Yeah,
I'll give
okay,
you for
well,
today.
yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, the only thing I can really say about My Home Hero, like overall, is that I'm a sucker for Yakuza or mafia romanticization type.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen The Godfather, but things like My Home Hero and like the Yakuza games and like especially like part 5 JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or like 91 Days, anything that has to do with like crime boss, the syndicate, the Yakuza, the mafia, I love those so much.
So, I'm gonna be honest. I have seen the Yakuza mentioned so many times in so many different mangas. And the one that comes to mind the most is you've watched all of Ouran High School Host Club though, haven't you, Jake? The one character who's like the Yakuza son who falls in love with Haruhi, red hair. He looks like whatever. Yeah, well, we didn't read that far in the manga, but watching it. Anyways, but you see it referenced a lot in manga, but this is probably the most detailed I've read that's been included in a manga or an anime.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was the one that the only thing I remember distinctly from him was he was wearing like a cat maid outfit in one of the panels.
Yes. Yes. He was so awkward, but everyone was like, what did they call him?
As you do,
like, my lord.
I mean, as being in the Yakuza is, I guess. What I do know from the whole Yakuza thing is that out of all the media that I've seen the Yakuza, I really like the game. The
Yakuza.
Yakuza, yeah, the Yakuza games. Those are really fun. Like recently, I've been playing Yakuza 0, and even though it's in the perspective of someone that used to be in that crime world, I still like the aspects where you're taking a normal person and you're placing them in the setting of that crime world. It's very interesting, I think, because he's using all of his knowledge from when he was a wannabe mystery author writer, and all of a sudden you see him applying all this dumb useless information in his everyday life to this like wacky spin of the situation that he's found himself into. And I really like that because it's like all that information never went to waste, because he could just have easily just quit all like his dream because it wasn't really taking off. And when he found himself in this situation, he probably wouldn't know like a thing to do, or he'd probably die there when the guy's taking a picture of him in the alley. And I just think that everything doubles back around, even though that was the start of the series. So I really like that.
I lost track there. Were we still talking about the Yakuza games, or we were talking about My Home Hero?
I was talking about My Home Hero.
Do you want me to read the summary, Jake?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're a little off on order today, but
Whoops.
to get us back into it, no, you're good. We're winging it today. So here is a little summary that I put together after reading it. An average, excuse me. An average 47-year-old father, slightly too into mystery novels, simply wants to connect with his 19-year-old daughter, Reiko. Like most would suspect, the feat is not easy, and during a lunch together, he figures out Reiko is dating an abusive man who just so happens to be a member of the Mafia, or Yakuza. Follow along the suspense-filled adventure as Tosu Tetsuya saves his daughter from an abusive boyfriend and then tries to save their entire family from the Mafia's retribution.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the talking points right now.
Yeah, I did not write any, so I apologize for that.
I-
But I can talk like a best of them. So
Yeah.
I think the first thing that I found was really interesting is because I mean I know my style, but of reading manga, but most manga in general is usually by like a young adult or a teenager or a kid. That's the perspective and the POV we usually see. So this is a real funny plot twist to go to like a 47-year-old father, no magical aspects or anything unique in that regard. It's literally just like someone you think would be like, I mean, not my dad, because my dad's a angry military guy, so so it's not the same. But like I met friends' fathers who remind me exactly of this man, just like a goofy old man who's into mystery novels and goes to work. And just I think it's so funny how like he starts off and he's like, my lovely daughter, and his daughter's like, I don't want to be seen with you. Like it's so funny to me. I just find it a really
God, this is
fun
gonna be me,
change of
isn't it?
perspective. Oh my god. Except you're gonna try to make like inappropriate dad jokes to get in with the friends, and everyone else is gonna be like, no, Jake, please, no, stop.
No, I'll just tell them weird, disgusting things that they should never know. Like what facing is. I won't discuss it on the podcast.
Okay.
Gabby,
I
do you remember what
mean-
facing is?
Idiot?
Facing?
No.
I'm pretty sure I like destroyed your eardrums when I told you what that was the first time.
Oh god, I don't need to be destroyed again. Which makes sense, since you have... I don't know how to phrase this without it coming out incorrectly.
I'm wildly inappropriate.
Yes, but you introduced me to a lot of wildly inappropriate ideas and concepts verbally. I'll add that tidbit in there verbally when we met.
Don't need Tyler knocking on the door.
Oh God, I. For those who don't know, who are listening, Tyler is Jake's best friend, pretty much brother, and he is my boyfriend. God. No. That's my nightmare. No, we're moving on. Thank you.
So welcome to the show.
Yes, as we segue into side character relationships.
Okay, Jake. So, I thought it was really cute, though, like, overall, him as a father, Tetsuo, because he actually really wants to, connect with his daughter, even though she's in that age of, I'd rather do literally anything else than talk to my dad.
Yeah, I thought Rachel was an asshole the entire time. Like, I hated her.
The thing that bothered me is that bitchy stage of female, that's more like 13 to 16. 19, you still got it sometimes, but usually you can actually, talk to your family, especially if you go away to college, because you get that separation space, so then you can actually communicate with them without you thinking that they're trying to control your every move.
I think part of it is that Tetsuo seems like he was very overbearing as a father.
Maybe I'll give you that one. Like, I guess from her perspective, but when it gets to the point where his daughter's giving him a birthday gift and says that he has to buy the birthday gift for $300.
Oh my God, I
to
forgot
listen
about
to it
that.
again. I'm like, oh, like I started hating her after that. I'm like, you deserve literally everything that's happening to you afterward.
She definitely was not nice.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot about that, so I'm really glad you brought that up, because I remember that being like, see, the funny thing is, like, for me, I focused on that part by how much a loving dad he was, that he kept buying them because they were still something his daughter had created.
No.
Well, that's the concept I focused on, rather than her, just being awful.
Yeah, like I thought, oh, that's sweet, and then I thought about it some more, and I'm like, oh no, fuck you, just give it to your dad.
I mean, anybody out there, milk your parents for all they're worth, honestly.
Oh my God.
You know what you're gonna have to do whenever your kids get emails is ban them from this channel.
Oh my God.
Nah, they'll know. I'll tell them, like, after you move out, milk us for all we're worth. I'm a sucker anyway. Okay. I love my girls.
I keep forgetting you're a dad of girls.
Mm-hmm. I would have been a horrible dad of boys. I cannot emotionally connect with males.
Tyler? Question mark.
Your quote unquote best friend.
No, me and Tyler have this thing, like, we actually hate each other, but we deal with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that
sometimes
not
Tyler
true.
turns into a girl so that I can communicate with them. It's okay.
I don't think Tyler and I have actually ever had, like, a genuine, like, bro hug.
Okay, I'm gonna make it happen.
I feel like Tyler just doesn't like people touching him.
That is not true at all.
Gabby.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm different. Technically the exception.
He gets something out of it.
Jesus! Hey, why'd you have to laugh like that? You made it awful. Hugs aren't bad. Jesus.
Well, I'm almost done my first Smirnoff Ice.
You're in a mood today, Jake. Okay, anyways. But yeah, she was definitely an awful daughter, and he was like, not the best father because he probably should have been a little more, actual parenting her rather than just loving her to bits.
Spoiled.
But I thought he was really adorable, and I like how he knew his stories were bad, and when he read a good one, he's like, gotta take this, but I gotta change it, otherwise it's blatantly taking it. I was like, true though.
He's basically a fan fiction writer.
Pretty much all stories are repeats of some other version of stories, so it's fine.
With different characters.
Yeah, like My Hero Academia is just the Avengers, but Japan.
Okay.
But better, I think you mean.
No, those are fighting words for some people.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
those
I'm not really into the American comic scene or movies about them.
I mean, you're not wrong. I only particularly like Spider-Man and Deadpool. Everything else kind
Yeah.
of.
I hated Spider-Man for a long time.
My God.
I hated him.
I like anti-heroes, so I like Deadpool.
Dude, my
Oh,
favorite
yeah,
anti-hero is Onani Master Kurosawa.
Would you consider someone?
I'm gonna castrate you.
Would you consider? Bro, I forgot his name. Would you consider the the other guy that's suspicious of Tetsuo throughout the manga?
Oh, him?
Yeah, you'd consider him an anti-hero, right?
I just thought he was a jerk.
I mean, okay, yeah, I get where he's coming from, but I also I don't think that he's in the right, but I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought he was a villain, though, in this circumstance. Maybe if there was different circumstances, he could be more than just a villain, but I don't know. I guess he's not, like, parading around as a hero either, so I guess I can't really call him an anti-hero. I don't know. This is all semantics, I feel like, and opinion-based, what you personally consider an anti-hero versus not. But what was his name? I forgot what his name was. In my head, I just called him Eyeliner Boy. Because he had really thick eyeliner.
He had the wicked eyeliner.
He had very, very pretty eyelashes.
I think it was K something.
Probably right. But he was an interesting character, though, because he was so angry all the time. I'm like, dude, it wasn't even your friend. Why do you care so much? Like, they were literally about to, like, get over it. And I was like, you made it worse.
I mean, I guess I'll get over it. You never know. And it's just he just
Oh, wait.
We only read to chapter 25, Gabi and I.
Yes.
Oh,
Just so you
okay.
know.
That makes a lot of
probably
sense. I was about to drop so many.
Oh, yeah. That probably... like, plot twist. If you haven't already figured it out, we're going into spoiler territory. But the main thing that happens in the beginning that I sort of alluded to in the summary is that...
Tetsuo knocks this dude's fucking block off.
Okay.
Yes. Let's give some more details.
Okay.
So when they go to lunch together, he discovers his daughter had been beaten by her abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then she ends up finding that he's in the mafia. And then she goes to her apartment to try to help her. But he ends up showing up to the apartment. And she ends up, as Jake put it, I don't even remember.
Block knocked off.
Yeah, he killed the abusive mafia boyfriend
with like a
and
toaster
then
or something.
Yes, with like a toaster or something. I thought that was pretty brilliant. Honestly, he kept saying like he murdered him, but that dude tried to attack him too.
I mean, that doesn't explain the fact that he still murdered him. He just did it out of self-defense.
I'd call it self-defense.
Yeah,
I would say killed him. I wouldn't say he murdered him. But again, that's personal semantics.
Yeah. Basically, he killed him. And
yes, he did indeed.
Yeah, and then his wife comes in and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That's exactly how I imagined her voice, to be honest.
She's like, "What's going on?"
But I love
a bag of groceries.
I love her so much though, because he just starts crying, be like, I killed him, and she's just
Yes.
like,
And his wife's
why?
the
And
MVP.
then I know, and then she's like, why? And he's like, he's beating our daughter, and she's like, she's like, I'll help you hide the body. Like, we're gonna take care of this. I was like, what a queen, mom of the year.
I said it in like a video I made of like me reviewing this. You haven't read the later chapters, but she goes all the way. The mom, Tetsuo is the main character of the story, but I'd argue that the MVP title goes to the mom. The mom, she has absolutely nothing to do with it. Her husband is the one that killed the abusive boyfriend, but the mom's like, you know what? I got you, homie. I'll help you hide the body. I'll help you find the person that put her in the situation to begin with. I'll help you recover the life that you basically sold to the Yakuza. I'll basically help you get us out of this situation that you brought me into, that I will continue to help you with because I'm your wife. And that is their daughter. And
But
it's
the romance is so cute.
yeah, but well, what I've noticed when reading the first part is they're not necessarily before Reika, like before the whole situation happened. I don't think they were necessarily in love with each other. More like they came to an agreement in their relationship that they had to stay together because of Reika, and they were just.
I thought that he really loves her. I don't know if she was fully in love with him, but like I feel like he's always loved her.
Well, okay, yes, but I just feel like something reignited when they killed that guy together and started burying the body.
I love the scene where they're like, she was like, yeah, you know, I'm in this with you. You did it, but I'd do it too.
You did it, but you're my husband, so it basically falls on me too. Oh my, she's so.
I love her.
The way she talked about it made me think that she had killed a man before.
Yes. I see that. Though something I thought was interesting though is like I feel like maybe not is what you're saying, Kolivanz. Like I feel like you can they're probably trying to allude to the fact that for a lot of couples who get married young and they have a kid right away, that once the kid goes to school, they're like, why are we together? And then their romance is dwindling, and then this brought them back together again. So like I can see it in that aspect, but
God, is this my future?
Thinking back on it, I don't personally think that they were completely out of love with one another, but I think it's like you said, where their love wasn't gone, but it was pretty mellow. I don't think it was gonna go down the dumps, but it was at the bare bones, like, hi honey, bye honey, let's honey, oh my god, Reika is here. And I think their whole relationship kind of just centered around Reika at a certain point and just kind of surviving as a middle class family and just being that family, not really taking any vacations or whatever until this whole event happened where they're like, oh, so we have something to do together, right? Let's partner in some murder and some crime syndicate and defeat this sector of the Yakuza right quick so we can take our daughter to a vacation after.
You know what's easier than taking on the Yakuza?
What?
Bowling?
Yes, this is a message for all couples out there. You can't just do nothing and expect your relationship to be perfect. Like you actually have to continually work at it forever. Like don't let the romance die. Go on dates, know their love languages, love them. Okay, I'm done now.
Yeah, you have to walk in on your kid being abused by the Yakuza and kill him and hide the body for you to reignite your relationship. Honestly, the way that he was using stories to hide the body, like that
was actually smart.
That it was smart. Like I didn't think that was gonna work. I thought it was gonna be one of those things where, yeah, I read it in a book, but I can't exactly apply this to real life, can I? And lo and behold, yes, he did. So I don't know if I'm allowed to even describe what happened or okay, so yeah, you guys read it because it's chapter 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can describe everything up until chapter 25. And
Okay.
if you need me to help remind you what happens at the end of 25, it's that eyeliner boy slips a note to Rico that she should figure out what her parents are hiding from her.
Okay. You're at that
That's
part.
the end of 25. That's where we are.
Yeah. So basically what happens in like around chapter 8 is he's hiding the body. So what he does to hide the body is he goes back to the apartment, right? So like 4 days before he goes back to the apartment, he tries to cover up his tracks. I think his wife throws away his old clothes and burns them and disposes of them, and then he buys a new one. So him and his wife have agreed that they would come back and deal with all the blood and the body, because Reika has left and she's coming back after a week of the beginning of the story. So he puts like newspapers on the walls to, I guess, capture the scent.
Yes.
And yeah, so I think he boiled the body.
Yeah, he
so
turned
that
the bathtub into a hot pot to boil down the body to bones into enough flesh where it could either be flushed or drained down the toilet in the sink, and then
Yeah.
it was easily decomposable in plant matter. And the little bacteria pods he put in there, that
Yeah.
is so freaking smart. That's what people use for compost piles. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, you'd think he's so ditzy and stupid, but he actually knows something from his mystery novel.
So basically and then he uses baking soda and paper to get rid of the rest of the fat that's been lodged in the drains. And then a police officer comes and she's like, he's like, oh my god, have you been here, these sightings around recently? And then he comes, and then what, I think Kyoichi also comes in the apartment to see what's going on. I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Is Kyoichi the bandana guy?
Yeah, Kyoichi's the bandana dude.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure like Kyoichi comes back, and when Kyoichi comes back, he what? Okay, no. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, Kyoichi comes back, and after he finishes disposing of all traces of her boyfriend, I think his name is Nobuto, of Nobuto's body, he comes back with the syndicate, and he basically kidnaps him, and he like holds the mom hostage so that they can find out what happened to Nobuto, because all signs are pointing to the both of them, because I mean they are her parents. And then after that happens, I think they call each other. They call the both of them on the phone. So they have a phone where the dad is, and they have a phone where the mother is, and they're trying to make it so their stories corroborate, and if they don't, they'll basically just kill either of them right there. Which is, I mean, that's pretty hardcore.
Can we talk about, for that scene though, they made him think that he was being like pushed off a building and he was fucking bungee cord.
Oh yeah, he was in a bungee cord in a warehouse, and he was like, "Oh,
I was like,
I'm gonna die."
However, again, they were so well put together that they already had put together all of their stories and were ready to go.
Yeah,
like they planned for that. I was like, but the wife took it like a champ though, and then like they're both really good at acting, and then later with their friend Tabato, they figure out they were all in like drama or theater club together. So I'm like, oh well, that explains why they're good at acting.
Oh my god! I can't imagine how scared he must have been to walk off, and then the bungee cord caught him. I know that he was so relieved after that.
He probably shit himself.
This whole story, though, for real, has so much suspense. Like, I got so much angst at so many points reading this. Like, I'm really easy to get, I guess you would say. Like, I'm easy to make anxious because I react very easily. But I was like, So many times. I was like, stop. Or I'd have to take a break and be like, I need something happy for a second before I go back to this anxiety.
Gabby Google's puppies playing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Or I take a walk around the room. Or I go to like, some cute happy fan art. There we go.
You snuggle your Hitalia body pillow.
I definitely do not have one of those, but 7th grade me definitely wanted one. Anyways, so again, throughout this whole thing, I don't really like the daughter. I feel bad for her though, because Nobuto, he was a piece of work. He killed like 2 to 3 of his ex-girlfriends, and he like beats them. So like he is awful, and I'm glad he died.
Gabby, are you saying you condemn murder?
No.
So I had a particular question that came up as I was driving the other day. So if you had to pick a song that made you think of like the manga, what song would it be?
The English version of the Yakuza 0 intro. That song fits this that song fits My Home Hero perfectly.
Nice.
Okay, the song that first came to my mind, and I blame Tyler, is Gas, Gas, Gas. Gas, 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 gotta step on the gas. Though I feel like that's a fair for this movie, because they're just trying to run away from the Yakuza.
Mine was Ride by 21 Pilots.
I know that, but I can't think of the lyrics.
I'm falling and I'm taking my time on my ride.
Oh yes, yep.
I was listening to that song and I was like, that's My Home Hero. What
a range of music choices we have here. These are the songs you have to put in the background.
We've got a English translation of a Japanese song, a Eurobeat song, and then 21 Pilots, which is just sad rap.
All of them are. They are really good though.
A lot of 21 Pilots fans are gonna get mad at me for just calling it sad rap, but I am also a 21 Pilots fan. I have a shirt, a sweatshirt, a wallet that is now destroyed because I used it so much. I almost bought 21 Pilots shoes. So I bought merch, which I never do. So yeah. 21 Pilots fans are gonna be mad that I said it's just sad rap. But it is very sad rap, like 70% of the time. But also it makes me feel good by making me feel sad.
I mean, it's good music. But yeah, no, overall, see, it was so funny because when Jake first told me about having a guest, he was like, Gabby, it's like slice of life. You're probably going to like it a lot more. And then I start reading it, and that's the only thing I know about this manga. And I was like, Jake, what the fuck is this? I was like, what kind of slice of life? It was just so funny because I was like, I'm not sure if I'd consider it that, but I actually really liked it. It was so funny, though.
I hadn't read anything about it or anything. I hadn't read any of it. And I was like, oh, it's going to be Slice of Life, My Home Hero. And I saw, like, the cover art for Volume 8 where it's, like, him with, like, little Reiko.
My god.
And I was like, alright, it's Slice of Life, alright. I'll tell Gabby it's Slice of Life. She'll love it. She'll be super excited.
It's just so funny because I went into chapter 1 reading it, and I was like, wait a second. And then we get to the murder, and I was like, I don't think this is Slice of Life. It was just so funny because I realized that you probably hadn't read it when you told me that. Because I know you.
Alright. Here's my fireball.
It's definitely a suspense story. And like, what do you call it? Because it's not a murder mystery, but it's a mystery. It's
Crime
like a reverse
drama?
murder mystery. Crime drama. There you go. I kind of like I like saying reverse murder mystery though.
What's spicy?
Dude.
This manga is spicy. Not the fireball that I just drank. So, as a parent talking to two, I'm assuming non-parents.
Assuming? What did you think I had? A secret child and told no one?
I don't know. I don't know what you and Tyler gotten up to the last couple of years.
Yikes.
It was mostly in reference to Kolivanz.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a mom by any stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't use the... Go ahead.
Oh, the guy said I meant the closest I'd ever be is like what, one of those adoptive sisters. Like if I see some little kid on the side of the road, I'll be like, yeah, here's some food, Johnny. I'll be
Oh
on
my
my way.
god. I was gonna say
All
us
kids food.
us
I'm your
females
mom now.
can't us females can't use the whole excuse of like that I know of that men can say.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'd remember.
Yeah, I think I'd remember too.
I have two kids that I know of.
There you go.
I've had sex with one woman that I know of.
Okay, boyo.
No, sex was scary.
Okay.
All right.
And then I reached the age of almost 20, and I said, fuck it. Literally. Gabi, aren't I hilarious?
Sometimes.
Don't you think I'm the funniest person you've ever met?
Roast him like that.
I mean, I said sometimes. That was better than saying no.
This podcast is like 80% Gabi roasting me and Kevin. 10% manga, 10% inappropriate jokes.
I really do it out of love, at least most of the time.
Gabi is a jalapeno because she's small and spicy. And
Hispanic. Yes, I am.
See, now it's okay that I made the joke because you made it too.
Yes, I like that joke. I find it funny. But, being under 5 feet in height, you gotta be spicy.
Gabi, you're not a jalapeno. You're a habanero.
Habanero? Those are spicier and shorter.
Yeah, they're smaller.
Wow. I am a habanero. Beautiful.
I feel like on the spice level, I'm a jalapeno. But Finnish. What's a Finnish spicy thing?
What?
Finnish spicy.
My family's from Finland.
Oh. I thought you were saying like finishes as something like FINNISH, and I was like, what?
FINN? No, I'm thinking of like finished, like I just finished something.
Yes, sorry, I said 2 N's on accident. Yeah, I need to like type if I want to spell or write. I shouldn't just speak.
What the fuck is this? So I looked up.
Yes, after that long ass tangent.
I just looked up Finnish spicy pepper, and it came up with Turkish pepper, but it's spelled Danish like. So it's like Turkish pepper. the alcohol is hitting me now. I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it just like gave me these little candies. One of the little black candies. Apparently, they're licorice flavored with ammonium chloride. What?
Very interesting. Interesting.
People just eat these?
Yes.
I guess they're spicy. I guess the hottest ones are called Mega Hot or Fireballs because they have 4 flames on the bag and they're sold in red bags in Fazer, Finland. These are only in Fazer, Finland and Denmark. Look at that. You learn something new every time you listen to the podcast. Sometimes it's about how much of a degenerate I am. Sometimes about Gabi's race. Sometimes it's about Gabi being the horny one. JoJo's part 1.
Which I don't deserve that title. I'm offended.
I think you deserve it, Gabi.
Says the one with 2 kids.
Hey, those weren't my idea.
Well,
I did say yes to them, though.
Yikes. It's getting all kinds of uncomfy up in here tonight. Oh, God. But yeah. What was another... Oh, my gosh. When the next great thing that the wife/mom did was when she needed to make him go to the bathroom, so she, like, put laxative in their coffee and in the milk. But she also... But she did both of them to ensure that the guy, not her husband, eyeliner boy, would drink it too. And that made me laugh so hard because he was like, how did you know which cup I would drink? I didn't.
So I just did it in all of them.
That was so good. I was like, wow.
Real
I
Princess
love her.
Bride vibes
That reminds me of I think I'm not sure if it's the Never Ending Story, but it's a really old, really long movie that has a bandit in it. And one of the scenes in it was he was trying to trick this guy into drinking poison, but he actually spliced both the
Princess Bride.
chalices. Hmm?
Princess Bride.
Well, yeah. Then he was trying to splice both he spliced both the chalices with poison. Yes, it was the Princess Bride.
Yeah. I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because, like, as soon as Gabi finished describing it, I was like, Princess Bride. That's exactly what happens in Princess Bride. I didn't know what cup you drink out of, so I did it in both. Ha! I tricked you. I switched the glasses.
No, you didn't. Because it didn't matter if you switched the glasses or not.
Amazing. That was so good. I loved that so much. And I liked Eyeliner Boy's face when he was sprinting to the bathroom. And then the fact that Tetsuo had to shit outside in the garden. Because they only have one bathroom. I thought that was amazing.
Fertilizer. Don't eat anything that comes out of that garden. Unless you shit in it. Because you'll die.
But then he definitely got caught by his daughter. That was so funny.
Oh, that's your YouTube channel. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I just went to your YouTube channel. And your most recent thumbnail is gold. fucking
Oh, mine?
gold. Yeah.
Oh, I love making thumbnails. I mean,
I used to, and then I realized that I'd have to make a new one like every episode, and then I was like, oh god, I need to find something where I can just quickly push these out. Oh, excuse me.
Nice. Is it really a recording night if Jake doesn't burp at least once?
I've burped so many times. It's just while you guys are talking and it's been quiet enough. So I'm almost done my fireball, but I've been chasing it with Smirnoff.
You are problematic tonight.
Is it really an episode of this podcast if I'm not slightly problematic? Oh.
um, okay, well, I mean, since seeing as you guys have only read up until what, halfway through,
Yeah, halfway.
yeah,
One.
that's pretty much most of the plot, or most of the meat of the plot happens in the second half. So I don't want to spoil anything for you if you were going to read it.
Ooh, we should do a part 2.
Part 2. I'm down for a part 2.
Yeah, I'm also down. But I love this manga so much.
I'm trying to think about what else happened. Oh, how Tetsuo kind of talked his way into working with Eyeliner Boy so he wouldn't kill him. I thought that was really smart and also really scary when he went into the syndicate after they had made the fake video of Nobuto walking across the street and he like hid stuff in his hat. I'm like, he's gonna be caught. He's gonna be caught. And I was like, walking? I was like, what?
During most of it, I always figured that he was going to be caught any moment, and he could have been caught at any moment. If anyone had just plucked his hat off his head and started rooting around it, they would have found the camera.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, like, I'm so surprised that he was not found out. Like, he was found out in the end, I'm pretty sure, but now when you're reading up to the suspense, it's like, dude, how are you this good? You're literally just an everyday salaryman. Do I have to watch out for my neighbors now?
Do you not watch out for your neighbors? Like, what are you?
No.
A normal functioning member of society.
Am I a normal functioning member of society? That's a pretty loaded question, buddy.
Ain't that
I mean,
truth?
like, I'd like to think I am, but I'm really not.
So, all of the alcohol just hit me just now, really hard. So I think it might be time to wrap up before things get crazy.
All right. Well, I mean, this was a nice podcast. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you joined. Again. It was so fun. I liked hearing another female perspective.
Gabi likes it when we have ladies on.
Okay.
Yes. Why did you say it in such a weird tone?
Because I'm drunk.
Okay.
It was an absolute pleasure to be here. Please do not shy away from inviting me again.
Yes, we're going to do part 2.
Okay.
We're going to do a part 2.
Part 2. Very excited because part 2 probably would be my favorite around that part is or around part 2 when we start getting into the actual topic. I love it.
It's as last thing, this manga is honestly like no other manga I've read before, but in such a fun, weird, surprising good way.
So
yeah, I think the reason I like it so much is because it's the first that isn't a part of a overtly popular series that I've read. Because I used to only read, well, I watched a lot of like niche anime, but I've never read the source material for it. So I guess I wouldn't call it as reading the whole series. So when I actually looked into this myself, and I actually started reading it mainly because the Anime Man did a video where he sat in like a manga cafe or something, and he didn't. He said he didn't particularly like the book, but he gave like a one sentence summary and showed a couple of pictures, and he basically just said "Salary Man" and "Crime Syndicate," and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's time to invest all of my energy into that manga.
Oh, he did read this in that video. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
and
be right back.
okay.
So keep talking.
And I really want to buy the physical copy. But the thing about buying the physical copy is the only copy that I can buy online is like the French version. Obviously they don't have it translated in English physical form, but
Well, that's a
uh
bummer.
yeah, that is a bummer. So I'm toying with the idea of should I just buy all of it in French and just call it a day, or should I just try and see if there's someone somewhere out there that has all of the volumes and I could just buy it off of them if they're willing to give it to little old me.
It's a really hard decision. Or if
Yeah.
you can find like a really cheap, not great copy, you can use the translations online and just paste speech bubbles.
Oh no. If I buy it like in Japanese, like I buy doujinshi and whatnot, and I read it online. If I read the doujinshi online and I buy the physical copy, then I the only way I'd buy it is if I really, really liked it. And for me to really, really liked it, I'd have to spam the doujinshi in my brain. So by the time I get the Japanese copy, I'm basically just reading it because I already know what they say in
Yeah,
English.
that's fair enough.
It's
But
just the sad part of not living in Japan.
sad part of not speaking and well, speaking Japanese is easier than reading it. So say of not being able to
Oh
read
yeah, not being able
Japanese.
to read Japanese either. I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'd say that this manga also has just kind of sparked that whole interest in making YouTube videos because I had to get it out there. I knew it, no one was gonna probably not watch it, but I loved it so much that I had to make a video on it, and I did, and I was really proud of it, and I went back to read it again.
That's so cute. I support it. I
Yes.
think that's great. I mean, I think that's one of the fun things that we do on Stick It to the Manga is that we read popular ones and we read weird ones. Weird being not known ones. We
Yeah.
just kind of read everything. Like, so I read lots of things that I would never probably read, but a lot of it is usually pleasant surprises,
Yeah, I
which
get
is
you.
really fun. So I really like that you brought this one to our attention,
Thank
and I'm gonna make Jake make it part two because I think if we finish it, that would be fun.
you.
So I like
Yes,
doing
that
part
is exciting.
twos. Okay, so while he's still missing, we can start the rating process. So how we rate things here is out of 10, but you can have 0 to 3 points for art, 0 to 3 points for characters, and 0 to 3 points for the story. And you can give it a bonus point if you want for whatever reason.
Mm.
So, what would you rate it for art?
Well,
You can go through each of the categories. It's
okay.
easiest that way.
For art, I give it like a 2. It's not outstanding art, but it's clean and it's polished, and I think it's done simply. It's pretty simple art, and um it's an
But it
art
looks
style
good.
that it's an art style that I've seen before, but I think it fits the story pretty well. You don't need
Yes.
something overtly fantastic or like an absolute masterpiece for a kind of topic like this because it's about an everyday man and everyday man should get
Yes,
Simple art.
I agree with that. Okay. Okay, what would you rate for characters?
Characters, I give it a side. Like if Reika wasn't in it, I give it a 3 or a 4 all the way. Like the bonus point goes for the characters for sure, but because Reika's there, I just have to give it like a 3.
Hello. Kolivanz gave it a 3.
Yes, I gave the
For
characters a 3
characters.
and the art a
Okay.
2.
Okay.
And story.
The story, I'll also give like a 2.5, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
It's not so unique. It's more me just I really, really love those kinds of stories. So I'm more biased to give those ratings pretty high. So I'll settle at a 2.5.
Okay, so that's 7.5. Are you adding the bonus point?
Yeah.
Okay, 8.5. What are you adding the bonus point for? Just for funsies.
The characters. They're so
Yep.
funny.
Yes. Okay. Jake,
Yes,
what do
I
you rate
am Jake.
art?
Art. The 3. I love it.
Very simple, but I really like the dramatizations. Thank you.
It feels
That he uses.
it feels close enough to real where you kind of feel what they're feeling,
Yeah, that's fair.
but it's far enough from real where you're not like, oh shit.
Yes.
Oh, I need to close my
Okay.
door so it doesn't echo.
Okay. Okay. Characters.
Characters. I'm gonna give it. I'll give it. I'll give it a 3. I liked all the characters. They're all really intense in their own way. Like, Tetsuo was like believable to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, but also he's unbelievable. But like, I just love the intensity of Kasan, the mom,
Oh,
the wife.
yes. Yes.
Or
Okay.
her
Story.
intenseness.
Story.
So far,
You've given it a 6 so far.
let's see.
Overall.
I give it a 2.5
Okay.
because I feel like it's doing really well so far. But I think there's some things that I would have changed in a perfect world.
Okay, that's an 8.5. Does it get a bonus point or no?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna give the art a 2 because I really did like it. It was just more simple, so it wasn't like the most amazing art ever. But I honestly think like Kolivanz, it fit the story really well, and they had some really detailed parts, and I thought it worked really well. I'm going to give the characters a 3 because even the awful ones were still like really good awful characters. Like I really wanted to hate Nobuto because he was awful, but like they wrote him in a good way, and all the other characters were written in really funny ways. And they're all fairly like unique, which I really liked. And then I think I'm gonna give the story a 2.
Okay.
Because like you, I thought there were some things that could have been better, but overall, I thought it was really good and really funny. But I'm gonna give it a bonus point, surely for the fact how many times it surprised me and actually gave me so much like suspense moments, despite it being a very humorous story. So I give it an 8. You gave it an 8.5, and I believe Kolivanz also gave it an 8.5.
So it evens out to a rounded 8.
roughly 8. Yeah, little below 8.5.
Yep.
No, wait. Calculator san, help me. Help my drunken self.
Yeah, it's 8.33.
What?
We have 2 8.5s and 1 8.
Oh, I thought she gave it a 7.5.
No, I thought it was an 8.5. She gave it a bonus point.
Right.
I gave it a
Yeah.
bonus point.
Yeah. I was wondering why you were confused.
I'm stupid.
No, you're just drunk, friend.
Did anybody get my big mouth reference there? It's 25
so.
total. I like that. I like the number 25. Reminds me of quarters, which you use at the arcade. I feel like drunk me
It was really cute.
isn't much worse than like regular me. I just notice things and make acknowledgments more often when I'm drunk. I'm not even that drunk. I'm just tipsy right now.
We should get drunk on a call together one time.
I got drunk at my bachelor party, and I realized that my friend's ceiling had tile, and I was like, "Oh, your ceiling is tile?" And he was like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh, awesome." That's the end of that story.
Okay, before we start just chatting to chat, once again, thank you so much for joining us, Kolivanz.
Yeah.
Thank
It was
you.
so fun. I'm so happy with this recommendation, and we have
So
a rounded
good.
rating of this manga for like 8 1/3,
Mm-hmm.
which is really good.
I'm
Since
glad that we agreed on that rating.
yeah, it's rarely even like this, so that's fun too.
Because
And
there'll be times when Gabby gives it like a 2, and then me and Kevin are like 9. We'll give it a 9. Freaking Shumatsu no Harem. I think Kevin actually gave that like a 5, and I think I gave it an 8 just because I'm horny.
yeah, yes, that's why you're the horny one. Got him. Anyways,
Intrudo.
I'll do the speaking stuff. Okay, so for social
Why?
medias, cause I'll just say it for funsies.
Wait, you think I can't handle that right now?
Oh, I just wanted to do it.
Okay, I trust you, Gabby.
Okay, so social media, you can follow our podcast at Stick It to the Manga or SITTM. Manga, Stick It, Sit Manga podcast. Honestly, if you Google Stick It to the Manga, you'll find our YouTube and you can find all of our socials there. Please join us in our Discord server. We'd love to hear from more of you. That was our podcast and guest Kolivanz. How can people follow you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kolivanz, Kolivanz, and on YouTube as also Kolivanz. You can find me almost anywhere as Kolivanz, really. But my YouTube is also Kolivanz, Kolivanz.
She makes some funny stuff.
Quality. We
Well,
support.
I'm glad that it's entertaining.
You can follow me on Twitter at Show Me Your Manga, and you can follow Jake on Twitter at Make Me Your Manga.
And you can find me on Casting Call Club at KeikiJakeVA. And you can find me on Twitch at KeikiJakeVA because somebody took Keiki Jakey.
We'll egg their house.
Yeah, fuck you, Keiki Jakey.
Yeah,
Give me the name that you had before me. You're probably not doing anything with it. Come to find out that they're like a huge streamer with like millions of views. That would hurt me on the inside. I'd be like, ah, fuck, I need a new name.
But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, please. And like, comment, and subscribe for Kolivanz's channel as well. And thank you for listening.
Thanks. This was this was fun. I just don't know what to say after.
Bye bye, manga fans.
Bye-bye. Drink responsibly.
Unlike Jake.
I ate before I drank. Sure, it was just 3 Lindt truffles, white chocolate, but it's still something, right? I also had dinner, but that was like an hour beforehand.
Oh, that's not bad. An hour beforehand is fine.
But
It's usually
also, I was
people who are like,
chasing whiskey with an alcoholic cider thing.
yeah, that's exactly why I said unlike Jake.
Bye.